Hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka.
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 Hakainde watitonda nadi, Nchito ni kuyoboya waka, Vilaizgo vyose vya waka waka, Kusuzgika kwa kura mwe bantu mwe,
Nadi nadi. Hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka,
hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka,
hakainde watondeka nadi, watondeka. Hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka,
hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka,
hakainde watondeka nadi, watondeka.
wakati wakati walina mahala kono mahala yalinkulelo tengo hofu wakwera muchanya sono bakavu bakulira chitimabo nadi 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 yeah.
Hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka
hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka
hakainde watondeka nadi, watondeka. Hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka
hakainde watondeka nadi,
watondeka
hakainde watondeka nadi, watondeka.
tiletelani nyali kuno kukaya alundazi box 1 kanele mundubile na munyake make bibiza na mama Abrenda Nyirenda simbi za Jelemani Hakainde luta luta
Watondeka,
Hakainde luta luta
watondeka,
Hakainde
watondeka, watondeka. Hakainde luta luta, watondeka,
Hakainde luta luta
watondeka.
Hakainde luta luta
Let us get into the vehicle. Don't want what?
Anyone from here. This is this.
Waiting for our friends behind. This is what?
10. Let's go.
They don't mean us. They don't mean us. They mean the local people.
Yeah, we don't need them here. You can relate here. There's no problem. But not this. It will be
We are not meeting somewhere.
Can
you get into the vehicle?
Yes. Can you get
This
into
will
the
be
vehicle?
the committee.
Where are the boys?
I'm telling you. Officers.
Wait illegal.
Come.
Chitunda.
are not going to jump on the vehicles. We are getting into the vehicles. What you want us to jump in the vehicles?
On it. I was seen to be wrong. What do you want the board of Edgar for? I asked that question. Hichilema, tell us what you want the board of Edgar for.
Some of your comments landed you with some cases.
Yes. Yes. But the South African Supreme Court has vindicated me. They have given the body to its rightful owners. Who took the matter to court? It was Hakainde. Hakainde took the case of Edgar's body to court. It was not taken to court by the family. The family only appealed what appeared to be the wrong or bad decision of the High Court of Pretoria. And the Court of Appeal has vindicated all of us. If Hakainde had listened, he wouldn't have suffered this humiliation. He's humiliated now. If he has got a sense of shame, he should be very ashamed with himself. He should be very ashamed to keep a body of someone else who is not your friend, who is not your relative, in the fridges for over a year. That's a very shameful act. For which you should pay the consequences. You should pay for the consequences of that.
This is why I said that with quite some strong.
Echo vale muvotera out. Ale lusanga ta alifwaya ngutalifwaya. Kuya bebe pa 13th August. Atampi okulaya.
What should be done to the grave that was dug?
Ni Hakainde waimbire. You should know. Ask Hakainde what he will do with that grave. It's his.
What do you mean it's his?
He dug it. He dug it. Yes. Use your own grave. He who digs the pit shall fall in it. So they sing.
Those are the events of the week, momentous events that continue to shape this country. And as we go ahead of towards elections, I should be traveling soon, going back to base, so you will see my banner back. just tell us where you're calling us from and where where you're watching us from. Is the volume okay? Is the video okay? Is internet not buffering, at least not from my side? Let's delve into it. The most unfortunate event occurred yesterday. The Jehovah's Witness District Convention, they hold this mass event at the Independence Stadium, at Heroes Stadium. Before that, they used to hold it at Independence Stadium. Now there is Heroes Stadium because Independence Stadium is condemned. We know no one uses it. And then we saw an advert. A day before, on Friday, we saw an advert that President Hakainde Hichilema will be launching his national campaign outside the stadium. Now, for all those that have used the stadium, Heroes Stadium, it costs a lot of money to use it. You have to pay. I remember it's in excess of 300,000 kwacha that you pay. So Jehovah's Witness had paid for the use of the stadium for a period of 3 days, from Friday, Saturday, and for the closing ceremony, which ends on Sunday at 18 hours. And immediately we saw that advert, all of us got concerned. What do they mean that the UPND will be launching their national campaign outside the stadium, while inside you have Jehovah's Witness praying to God, having their annual district convention? The UPND will be having a rally outside, launching their campaign. Clearly, this looked not feasible. This is an annual event. It takes a long time to plan. You know, the stadium is usually for up to 60,000 people turn up at that stadium by the Jehovah's Witness. They are not the only one. The Lusaka Adventists, the Lusaka Adventists also hold an annual event in the stadium, and they fill it up. You have seen President Hakainde Hichilema officiate at the SDA event. And people were asking, could President Hakainde Hichilema could have done this if it was the SDA that was holding their rally? And there was intense debate yesterday. We saw two statements. One statement from PS, from Youth and Sport, whose jurisdiction the stadium is on. He said they had held discussions with the church, the Jehovah's Witness, and that they had agreed that the Jehovah's Witness will not hold this event on Sunday. In fact, and they said it will be held virtually. But even that didn't make sense. You know, for a virtual event, that means the leaders still have to gather somewhere, and then it has to be broadcast to their members live, wherever the leaders will do and meet and preach. It was total inconvenience for the Jehovah's Witness. I saw most UPND members mock the Jehovah's Witness at after Rotavavota. We want to akwalesa. The right to worship is a fundamental human right. Whether you vote or not, you have to exercise that fundamental right to vote, to worship, to believe in the religion of your own right, and to practice it. It's a fundamental right enshrined in our Constitution. You cannot treat the Jehovah's Witness in the manner they were treated just because they don't vote. You have breached their fundamental right. In fact, I expected either at the rally or before that there should be an apology by the UPND to the Jehovah's Witness. I think that infringement is not too late for the UPND to apologize. In my view, they still need to apologize for that. They could have used Nkoloma Stadium. They could have used any stadium, Woodland Stadium. They could have gathered their members anywhere for that launch. And they could even have used OIDC. OIDC has large grounds. But they chose where the Jehovah's Witness had booked months before, paid for months before, and their members, some traveled from across the country to come and attend that district convention. So I expect the UPND to apologize for the inconvenience they caused to the larger body of the Jehovah's Witness. That was not good. So today we saw President Hakainde Hichilema gather crowds, and they were outside, so we can't estimate how many they were because they were outside the stadium. In an open space, you really can't tell how many turned up. But otherwise, a good number turned up. But look at this. What do you notice? So, you know, social media is mocking the UPND that they had a musical concert because the number of artists that were billed to perform. And we saw even social media influencers. I might have a video of social media influencers take pictures with the president. Yeah, Mutale Mwanza there, social media influencer with the president sharing a moment at the launch. So social media is mocking this crowd that, look, this was a music concert. But before I go to that, for me it reminds me of 1991. When the MMD held its rallies, it was just ordinary Zambian stand-up. When UNIP had its rally, at Kamwala Showgrounds. Kamwala, where there is now the church, the Universal, is that the Universal Temple Church? That used to be open grounds for rallies. I don't know what we used to call it. I have to remember. Do you remember what those grounds were called? Opposite Findeco House. There was an open space there before. There was that shopping mall, opposite Carousel. And before there was that church. So MMD in 1991 filled that entire space, and UNIP felt challenged. And you know, Dr. Kaunda was swimming against a tide of winds of change. What did he do? He also called his mass ground, and it was also populated with his supporters. But there were two differences. There were UBZ buses that had transported people from across the country. There were all of them were in those white capes and t-shirts. We know the fire burning of UNIP symbol from the fire burning of UNIP. So you could quickly tell the difference. This is organized, this is mobilized, this is dressed. But the crowd for the MMD 1991 were just a mixed bag. Ordinary people walking, no buses anywhere. But for UNIP, we saw that they filled the grounds, and then you could see the IFA trucks and the UBZ buses. You realize these people have been mobilized, bussed, and therefore the barometer could not be good. Similarly, you can tell from the UPND. Look at the number of flags. Look at the number of T-shirts in the crowd. So did they gather their own members? Did they gather just ordinary members from all branches, all sections, and all districts? That you can tell me in the comment. That's a difference with the crowd that Makebi Zulu and Brian Munduwile are pulling. It's just ordinary crowd, no one, no regalia, no nothing. And at the end of the rally, you can see them walking. You can see a natural organic crowd to the one that's been mobilized, bussed, put together, dressed, and then they form a crowd. That's the only single difference between the two. Hello. No, not yet.
About the crowds that they are gathering, there's this fear that kwena n'abafula abantu bawine chimwela chaisa mwe bantu bakwalesa uwingalanda pama crowds ninebo because I'm an evangelist inchito yandi ama crowds na mbile na ama crowds. The reason I talk about it now is to warn our friends in the opposition that when the results are going to be read out and you realize how badly you have performed, you might say it has been rigged because our crowds were big. Crowds have nothing to do with voting. Those who know elections are on the ground as we speak. And if you are putting your faith in the crowds, a lot of people are going to have heart attacks when the elections are going to be announced. So please do not worry about the crowds. Anybody can get a crowd. Even a fool can get a crowd. Yes. If he wants to do something. Because people, as an evangelist, if I have 10,000 people listening to me, I know not more than 1,000 will give their lives to Christ. Just 1,000. The crowd is full of everybody. So if you count the crowd and say to win an election, you are being simplistic. Winning an election is a science. And if you don't... So, Dr. Nevas Mumba reacting to the mass crowds that Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu have been pulling. They held a press conference in which they took time, all of them took time to denounce Makebi Zulu and Brian Mundubile, and emphasizing that crowds are nothing. But typical of Dr. Nevas Mumba, today he's praising the crowds that President Hakainde Hichilema has called, and he just looks the usual Dr. Nevas Mumba. So the UPND Alliance members, Nevas Mumba for the new National Party, Charles Milupi for the Alliance for Democracy and Development, Felix Mutati for Movement for Democratic Change, Ivy Hamududu for the Party of National Unity and Progress, Charles Chanda, United Prosperous and Peaceful Party, Mao Sampa, who leads some faction of the Patriotic Front, Xavier Chimba of the United Progressive People's Party, held a press conference which they used to denounce the opposition. For those calling, let's just wait. I finish with the monologue, then let's shape the debate first, then you can call. I'll be opening the phone lines very, very soon. Let me just finish with my analysis. We saw Honorable Harry Kalaba. I played his video. He was in Mansa, and the last 2 days he was in Eastern Province. He was in Western Province, and there's been some setback around his party. Let's just watch Harry Kalaba. So we saw Harry Kalaba, Citizen First and Orange Alliance leader. He was in Kanyama. Those visuals are from Kanyama. He was in Mansa. And then he was in Western Province. And we saw they had an incident in Senanga where they were stopped from having a meeting. This is now the misconduct of the police.
the Electoral Commission of Zambia has drawn out a map. It looks like they have not shared with the police. Because look, today they couldn't allow Makebi and Munduwile to go into Chama. Chama is part of Northern Province, or Muchinga Province. This period, Brian Munduwile and Makebi Zulu were scheduled to be in Muchinga Province, but they were stopped from going to Chama, and they were rerouted. We saw visuals of them at Matumbo before you go into Muchinga Province, into right across, and they are expected tomorrow to hold a mass rally in Impika. But we saw the police stop Makebi Zulu and told them that they have to leave and they will not go through Chama. And we saw in Senanga, Harry Calaba's meeting disrupted by the police. Yet his calendar says he was supposed to be in Western Province during this period. The police are not doing any favor. And like I said, someone has written that the issue around the Jehovah's Witness, that we should remember that the UPND government stopped Apostle Sanders Nyangwe's annual night of freedom overnight prayer meeting on the eve of Zambia's independence. They had called for this meeting to pray for our country, and I think they had even brought a foreign evangelist to be part of that meeting, and it was abruptly stopped. President Hakainde Hichilema directed the police to give him a report. We've never heard of what happened to that report. Makebi Zulu and Brian Munduwile continue to make waves. They've had mega rallies in Nyimba. They started with Petauke and Nyimba, then Katete. Then they stopped meeting that took place in Chipata. Now the reloaded one took place, and it was a massive rally. Yesterday we saw that they were in Lundazi, and you know, in Lundazi they've Brenda Nyirenda. She's such an organizer. You've been seeing images of Brenda throughout the last 5 years organizing the party structures, and it was inevitable that the rally in Lundazi would be quite big because of, I think, the work of Brenda Nyirenda. And what we have seen is the message of the lamp seems to have caught fever in Eastern Province. Whether they were just driving by or they were at the rally, clearly the people know what this issue of the lamp is, because many were concerned that in the demise, following the demise of the PF, you know, the barring of it being on the ballot paper, that people may not associate quickly with the new political party and the new symbols. But the issue of the lamp seems to have gone with wildfire. I guess even the song and the songs have helped sell the idea very, very quickly. And Brian Munduwile and Makebi Zulu will be in Impika tomorrow for their rally, kicking off the campaigns in Muchinga Province tomorrow. What else is on my schedule? The remarks by Dr. Fred Membe regarding the late president is on point. He's in court for the same remarks that he made, and the Supreme Court of Appeal in South Africa has, I think, confirmed his fears. Exactly what Zambians were saying, that the issue of the body of the remains of the late president belong to the family. Let the family decide. If they want a state funeral, let the family decide. If the late president will lie in South Africa or in Zambia, let the family decide. It was never an issue of the state, never an issue of the state. The state are a collaborating partner because the late president was a former head of state. And on that program on Prime TV, Dr. Fred Membe emphasized that. So, the last issue, I commenced a matter for the opposition to set up vote protection mechanism. I have stated that the winds are flowing and following the opposition. It's the opposition to lose this election, not President Hakainde Hichilema. President Hakainde Hichilema is on the back foot of this election. He didn't anticipate that there is opposition. Remember, they've preached the entire 5 years that there's no opposition. But looking at the crowd that Brian Munduwile and Makebi Zulu is pulling and pushing, you can see that there is clear opposition against the president. Harry Kalaba is also trying, but you can see that the two front runners is Brian Mundubile and President Hakainde Hichilema. So just last month he was saying there is no opposition. Now he has opposition. And like I said, the rally he put today, mass crowd, you can call it a mega rally. But they are all dressed in red. It's a sea of red. There are flags of red. You know, it's like Rupiah Banda's meeting. I remember Rupiah Banda's last rally in 2011, which was held on Mandevu grounds. And the crowd was big, but they were all dressed, and there were a lot of trucks and canters and buses at the back of the rally. Even in my analysis, then I said, if you look at SATA's rally and Rupiah Banda's rally, these ones are organized. The rallies for Michael Sata were impromptu, ordinary people, ordinary voters coming up. This is what you see between the rallies of Brian Mundubile and the mass rally that the UPND had today. They can say they have regalia and they were giving people. Yeah, they can have an excuse of what it is that they are talking about. Remember, we had said that I had praised Mundubile for his message, whether it's on reserves, whether it's on any matter. The issue of reserves sparked responses, including Dr. Stumbeko Musokotwane, the Minister of Finance, who is campaigning deep in Liua in Western Province, in his constituency. He had to come out of the woods to come and answer Brian Mundubile. You need to stamp your authority on any messaging so that the country is discussing you. And of course, like I stated the other day, the debate on reserves, first of all, is misguided and misinformed. Mundubile was merely saying, how can you boast that you've accumulated foreign reserves of up to $6.5 billion when the cost of living crisis is this high? You know, the youths remain unemployed. Why don't you deploy some of those assets to these active programs? And I had stated that the issue of foreign reserves is mere import cover. If any country wants to treat foreign reserves as savings, those are not savings at all. You do what we call sovereign wealth fund. That way you can lock that. It's like a savings account, 24 days or 14 days or 3 months, whatever, you lock that money up. No one can touch it. Those are real savings. The monies in foreign reserves are usually beefed up by any loan that you've gotten. Imports, if for example, the copper mines sell their copper and deposit it back in your country, and you're supposed to give them kwacha equivalent. That's what builds up reserves. But reserves are not savings. Savings are more ideal than foreign reserves. Okay, so even that debate is not properly informed, the entire debate from both sides. I would rather that I concentrate on paying the local debt. The local debt is 252 billion kwacha. If you convert that, divide by 17, it might give you somewhere around $14 billion. How can you owe your own people $14 billion? The domestic debt is what determines the state of your economy. If you have an accumulated local debt, there'll be no activities in the economy. So while this government has spent a lot of time in trying to deal with the foreign debt, they should have dealt with the issue of the local debt. They should have rescheduled the local debt. They should have given parameters for the people that they owe locally so that they can plan. Many people have lost houses, they've lost assets because banks came calling. Remember, for every government contract you get, you have to get insurance for it. Sometimes you have to get bank guarantee for it. And banks will not wait 3-5 years the way these debts have been accumulating for the last 5 years. So I would rather that someone dismantles that local debt before you even look at your foreign debt. I know the foreign debt is important because it deals with issues of investor confidence and your place in the market, in the world marketplace. But for me, the local debt is clearly more important. It deals with the lives of our people. So before you even boast of these savings, and before you boast of these reserves, there are primary duties for import cover. Is your import cover 1 month, 3 months, 6 months? So the $6.5 billion looks like it's 4 to 5 months import cover. This reminds me of President Rupiah Banda, who had foreign reserves of $4.5 billion. It was historical at the time in 2011. And he was still voted out. You know why? The issue of bread and butter, the issue of corruption, the issue of ordinary issues affecting our people matter most. Is the FISI program. Can our people sustain their lives the whole year? Are youths employed? Are youths empowered? When you are not answering those issues, why are things very expensive? You are saying your inflation rate is a single digit, but why is the cost of living still rising rapidly? I had once criticized and challenged the Zambia Statistics Agency to tell us what constitutes their measurement for inflation, because the inflation rate can be obscured if what comes into the basket is not the thing that changes frequently. For example, if in the basket they've removed fuel, well, the inflation rate will be low because you've removed a volatile commodity that goes up and down. If you remove certain commodities in your calculation for inflation rate, you can actually manipulate the inflation rate. So I've always challenged the Zambia Statistics Agency that tell us in your basket what you monitor, to come up with these price differences, then that what gives you the inflation rate. And they've never published that. For me, I challenge them even today. Tell us what goods and commodities you track to tell us inflation has gone up, has gone down. Because if you remove meal, you remove fuel, you remove those that are currently quite high, you may find that the inflation rate could be higher than what it is. Today will be a short broadcast. I wanted us to review and discuss the issues of the rallies. I wanted to review where the opposition are so far. The opposition is doing it's strange. I remember that in 2016, 2021, the official campaigns were flagged off immediately a week after Parliament closed. Week or two after Parliament closed. Can you imagine the UPND is only flagging off his campaign 45 days when we have 45 days remaining out of the 90 days? Let me come to vote protection. Vote protection is very critical. Whoever is working on this must work on it properly. Have you formed the polling station committees? Because if you form polling station, there are 13,595 polling stations. It will show that you're on the ground, whether you have a candidate in that area or not. This is the advice to the opposition. Form polling station committees. The polling station committees can not only monitor for you or provide for you those two-party agents that ECZ, that you have to register with ECZ, and that has to be done now. It also helps you in mobilizing the voters at that polling station, because you can send a register to all the 13,500, or you can send a register to your district committees. Then the district committees can pull out the particular polling station, and those polling stations can be given, a chairperson of that polling station can be given the number of voters, the 900 voters that constitute that polling station. Remember, a polling station cannot have more than 900 people. That is why people that don't even know how to run PVTs or the electoral process will be posting results. You know how we would know that these are fake results? They are saying from this polling station in Choma, President Hakainde Hichilema has scored 13,000 votes. Come on. A polling station has a maximum number. It's usually 800 or 900. So if you form polling station committees, 13,595, you can pull out in the register you buy it from ECZ. and you give your polling station secretary or chairperson, look for the 900 kaibekala bonse mu constituency, and the 900 can easily be traced. Then you can encourage them to vote. You can even look for them on the day of election. Banakangwa bushana muvota imoile batu mule votela pali polling station. Banakangwa ngama vota mwisa mtuposheko twala imini napo. That way you've localized the election. You will know who has voted. You can determine who has won elections and who has lost elections from those results within 3 hours. You don't have to wait for the ECZs 3 days, 7 days. You don't have to. You can know whether you've won an election or not if you run a perfect system. If you run polling station committees that give you results immediately. Your polling agents will come from there. First, by 12 hours, they'll tell you if the voter turnout is admirable or not. And if it's not admirable, by 12 hours, you can issue fresh instructions. Polling station committees vanetwachelwa abantu vesitavele mukuvota vukeni fwaeni. If people had gone to the fields, your people at this polling station can go and look for those 900. Banakangwa tamwile mukuvota twamona bashikangwa tabeshile mukuvota. Elections is a science, and your approach has to be scientific, and it's just about numbers. That's why numbers are manipulated or affected. It's at the polling station. The manipulation occurs at the polling stations. And like I was telling you, foreign observers are like tourists. They just tour, drive around, check if everything is okay, but they will not know who has voted and who has not voted. Your polling center committee can know and can give you a vote. If to achonga, I think 300 never voted by 12 hours. Because twachimona bashikangwa, twachimona na kulumutinta, twachimona bonzaba, you can actually mark if you run an effective polling center committees. No one to akwalesa, the rallies are good, the rallies are raising ichimwela, but elections is won or lost at the polling station. Is won or lost. Don't just say people will turn up because they've heard your message. Someone has to supervise those people. Get the registers, buy from ECZ, distribute them to your district officials to your constituents. Your constituents, babule, mawards, wapela bawadi, wafumiamo, wapela ma polling station centers, 13,500. You can immediately do this in the next 2 weeks. Buy those registers. Know where the voter is. That way, the myth that people like Nevas Mumba are pushing, that crowds don't translate into voters, are defeated. Because chabanga fidia tupepesha aini, you go to a crusade, you'll have a lot of people, but you can't go to church and have an empty church. That means your crusade was not successful. In fact, there are crusade committees. After you preach, you go into the audience, you get their numbers, you tell them where they can come. Even the pastor will announce, go to a Bible-believing church. You may not necessarily come to our church. But there should be remarkable membership that should arise out of a crusade. The numbers should immediately rise. The rallies should translate into voters. And how do you do that? Get the register. Distribute the register. Appoint polling station committees for you to look for those 900. Iwe insto yobe ni abafe 900. Polling station yobe ni. In the past, we see that you want to monitor elections from a constituency or district level. No, not even the word is enough. Go to the polling station. Go to the polling station and create a polling station committee. Empower them with a register. They will know who the voters are on that committee. Vambe na door to door, because no mana mkwata register. There's something I learned from VJ, Vernon Johnson Mwanga. He would say, when he's campaigning, and those days, goodies, cooking oil, sugar, salt, he would go to this house, give this house, And maybe you skip 3 houses and then give again cooking oil, sugar and others. At the end of the campaign, people will ask him, Honorable, you were skipping you were skipping homes and households. Why? What was your determination? And Vijay would say, the register. There was no way I was going to waste cooking oil on a home where there are no voters. Why would I do that? He was right. In the absence of a register, mwakula pele fitenge, mwakula pele abantu, mwakula landa na abantu, abo tema voters, but with a register you know, apapanganda pali 3 voters, umwana lishita register, ba wishina banyina. Pababu elako feta pali na ngumo. There is no time to waste on those people. Their civic duty has ended. They have not participated in the election. They might give you chimwela, but they are not voters. You, with that register, you begin to go to the particular voters and persuade them why you think they should vote for your candidate. That is about the vote protection unit. Let me open the phone lines and let us hear from you. For me, this election will be determined in a scientific manner. Go and set up polling center committees, polling station committees, give them the register, let them go and look out for these 900 voters. By 13,500, the UPND are saying they want to bring 5 million voters for President Hakainde Hichilema. But eba kenewa Jehovah's Witness, eba ishwayama plan, ba Catholic ba ishwayama plan, how to reach the person right where they are. The Catholic Church forms what you call small Christian communities. But you see that wala pangech tente. But Jehovah's Witness say, come to knock on your door. Those are the methods now. Abakala mbaba president, epo badechite chimwelecho, imwena imwe at that local level, do that. Identify your 900 and begin to, we seem to have a first caller. I think it's my dear brother from hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Sinyangwe Danny.
Thank you very much, Danny.
Thank you, Ambassador. Ambassador Mwamba, I would just want to say this. I am so happy today because of what you have analyzed. For me, what is making me happy, Ambassador Mwamba, and the way you have put it, these are people that have come to a party because they have been invited. But on our team, Makebi Zulu and President Mundubile, there are people who are voluntarily going to listen. So for me, I am a very happy person today because in what you're also saying, this is also going to transit into what will happen when people go to vote. People have made up their minds already, Ambassador Mwamba. But now, the main thing is let us protect our vote. And I love the emphasis that you're doing. Let us protect our vote. Because when that day comes, people have made up their mind and you won't change their mind because of the musical concert which was held. People are going to vote because for the 5 years of UPND in government, there's nothing that they have done for the local people in our Zambian community. There is nothing that they can benefit from this government. So, if you are even saying these are influencers, those are not influencers, Ambassador Mwamba. These are people, but umuntu kulioko mama is Eastern Province. They are going there because they want to listen to the message and they are going to vote on that. But number one thing before I end, Ambassador Mwamba, pilabo ku paper. Tentole paper so that on the 13th August ngayaisa bale sabesu ba confirma pepo ya Zambians takwa kabene fifulunganya. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba, and God bless Zambians and God bless President Mundubile and President Makebi Zulu. Thank you, Latotela.
Thank you very much. Let's take the calls now. I will not stay very long. You know, I've a journey to make. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador.
Mwabombeni.
ukuisa fonje aisa kuito ba konfona wa imano mwamba ushe misha nine aba president abachirashana barisamirichensha abana abano bandunga mwalolekesha bachipiribuka bwino na kuno manchishibe ne kuchimona kwandi kushuwa pe ngendunguro shikuti bambo kula chitafika chinsekeshe ino kumona wa president bare chitafika kuisa isa uli lali tangula ilia intuwachitekesha kuna nitani Cairo Stadium wale mwana munchende mutwaye karumo sana ko bare tundaba mabasi bare yakuya ero firia eto basata bare kano kwe batinenga ndetekesha lali na munde kumanya abantu na refu abena bakumanya pe abantu bakula kwine ero bashiko kwe batusha abantu bengi abarensa porta na ngula banono eso basata barenda nombe finti bare chitefu nde mwana kwati bare shupa ya benye ero chimbi eto ninga temwa timu Yesu ya BMA bombere bafiro kubomba fira finti bare ingira mtuwa fira ma campaign bengi sheko na abantu baraba president basangwa na bena bare tangira kokula kumokuntu bari ingiro kwe bati basike batangisha kwa abantu bafika kwa mkozi ngamalesha bamwamba Yesu kumishi kula kuntundanda yonse kudati kwa misengo kula kwa Filipo kuya bamundu bireshinali ari mkwika rero abantu abakucha campaign kula tabariko takulina bamwabere kokuli so efyonse bafire bambe kumono kwe bati atimu balesangwa na yena batangishe kwa abantu bengire mu mafiudi bare campaign abonse barabena pino mpundu bonse barabafire batangira ko kumchendeshimo ero bare kumani na fe kumtanshi ifikuti fiatu hapo campaign haraenda muri wangu bonse abena kasonde mwenda ba enjito bafire bahombe na bena kuchiro kwe bati bonse bareba group komopen na tetra wamo.
Thank you very much. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
My fellow brother, I also call you EMA, eh?
Okay.
You know how this is. So, may I know what you have expressed today? This is one of the best programs that where you've been so emotional, attached to your program. And I will call MZ Nabamunduvile to say, watch this program. This is what you need to do. If there's a program where you have expressed yourself, it is this program. My brother Emmanuel. And hopefully, if people listen, we will succeed. Because your expression is so strong. Is so what you know what is happening. You know what is needed to be done. And people need to listen. So, anyway, I hope they will listen. And on a last note, I just want to say, imagine if it was me, I've got a big body bigger than you, so that you have a laugh. And I saw people can unbox from some attack and they're all in Biakalamba, you know? So, it won't look nice. So, let's look at it. But you have a good night.
Thank you very much. The lines are open. The lines are open. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion quickly. Like I've said, I don't want to stay long. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Yes. Good evening, Ramamba.
Nitaba ne mwabombe.
Program yes.
London poyam.
Our program is sumasana. Turavokati tule ishiwe findi flexistika. Film Maranda tupadi wiki fiat stike muri wiki twapuishe. Kumona pie nangwa na ma launch campaign yaba UPND papa ku heroes warolesha kwewa tawe na bonse na abantu bachi wakati kubashitafie babashitire fino kwafumya munchende shari kana muchungulo to achila mwana bare showing us myoto kashimbishire fuma kumachongwe kuisoko ma areas mutari mno wache wati nimbina ndikuti nimbina na wapera kone nempia kali nefi achitike na my information yambia refuma kuti bajeje baranda chawe bari bafumisha kachinga ni 30 million kwa bonse na ma influencers wapere bonse na bambya bacu mabukopa beota ma influencer abengiye po bacu bakuja baci ubu bareshita promises mo 150 kwacha 1000 kwa bati kuti baranda fipari inefo ndechi monako ndechi palani ya kwati nifi ya ma story twale umfufe bakulira kopa beoti na kulira ku dollar ine kwali pa ma story twale umfwa ya cha tifia chita muituri forest kulia ku Congo katuishi kwa that kwali ko to my dwarfs. It's a community alikala mulya mumpangati we mutalinga wasa kamona fidia mumpanga mulya ngawalanda ti ngakakuipisha ti wambwene ne kuisa in fact na mashina bali kipera tumwa wambwene ne pi ngulisa wambwene wana kumwene na chikumwene uko nanguna kutali na chikumona twale umfabu inosana because ngawabika anything to do with ukudadi nangu noti apa mpepi nangu you are not short or what because twali kwete influence complex that wali focus mino foto waba chimono kwewa tifile chika mchalo chesu walonesha na wa UPND more especially kuli wa presentation it's like he's failing to is in denial and it's like even people are surrounding him they know him very well that he likes to be praised. He likes to be. He's like a demigod. So they even know if you want to get anything from him, it's better you tell him what he wants. And ngawalonesha sana na bonse bayupendi na bakaleko na bambi kubambya tabagira pa basulira pachipanisha chini. Bambi tapali no chuba mwenepo. No mbana bama influencer ngawalonesha na ma economy ya Mzambia for free. Oko bareko bafati awela ndafi staff indoors pali neto ala kupera 150 kwacha no kuchushu chichibu ufudile muno muchalo tapali winga kana ba mwamba na fila ngafi apa butatu tumwe ni ba Makebi Zulu ba Brian Mundu biro kufuma ku Eastern Province kwenda from all the way from there kusafika na kushwanga ndule kulabachi kwata meeting bachi kwata no mo bale pita bonse abantu bale ile tafikwa tinifira Yesu bale bamupokerela fidia it's like bale ireta fera that chintu ichi wa mine chiro mbelo muchere chine cheka it's like bale pita bena tabale chu tabakwete pona campaign material no mba abantu bale ukushita kwa aba UPND abantu mukuchimona fyo kwandifie bale folks sending a very wrong narrative outside the country so that they can have a leeway where they can leak the election to say that abadi batemwana ukwatemwa within the country.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let's take the other cause you've made your point. Thank you, my brother.
So na filanga fya pauta kutu emko yawe na totela na filanga pauta tutu kwa wati apa ba mundu na Makebi Zulu bakujite continue na mapepo no kutotela lesa. God is behind us and we shall pull through in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello. Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
This is Anonymous calling you from Lusaka.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Kwai abafyashi afyo mfumo alanda kwena mwewe na tufu kusondolwela. I'm very excited about the intervention strategies that you've just mentioned in terms of having polling station committees. I think it's a very big eye-opener. Nefine malanda ambassador if you kwabati ukula mu field to go and start looking out for the voters. And I think we are in this together, and we ensure that and I think I will be one of those volunteers that will ensure to go and start looking out for those people. I think Namlanda Winosana, and we are so grateful for what you said. And then coming to what we saw today, we're talking about inculcating values inculcating values and principles in the masses, especially abaiji. Kwena bamwambaye ne pano pomperere ne mukalamu. Nangu kushana achani ichichirimbo chalirechi. Shani nafyo muputule wanzi. Na mkushani na pansa abana batampo kumbona. Aho taiwe meyo kuna wakiashi wale breaking afia. No. That was not so good. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Form your center committee, your polling station committee. Ask your leaders to get you the register, and then you identify not just your ward, but your polling center. There are 900 people on a polling station. You just pick yourself and you allocate yourself that duty with your friends who are voters on that polling station. Parapena muvotela mwasenda register yenu just for you. Don't worry about the country. Then you begin to identify nga baba pali register ni bani abawa chita register pali polling station. Then mwambo okubatandalira nga bafile bachita bachitawala. Wanu mule vota unu mwaka please muka vote, you begin to befriend them. That's how you win elections. Thank you very much. The lines are open. Please go and let's hear from you. Yeah, the other phone, where is it? I can just hear it ringing. Yes, callers, please let's go quickly so that we wind up today's program quickly. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Yes, good evening, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. This is Henry Hari Lungu.
Henry, make your contribution.
Yes, sir. I just have three things which I want to talk about. One, I want to ask how prepared are we, or how prepared is the party in terms of recruiting election agents and sensitizing communities to protect their vote? Because this time around, we are going to rely on the community to protect their votes. So the second thing is, I was asking if there is any way that the party may consider my brother Danson Lungu, Suzio Pidi, and the Chabota, since those guys have got, effective the communication skill. When I see them, the way they communicate with the people, okay, out there. Can't it be good if they can be given an extra responsibility, as in to do some online sensitization or educating the people out there on how to protect the vote? I mean, there's limited time, or even to be given the extra responsibility to be educating the election agents as well. It can be done via WhatsApp or even on Facebook, like they can have a timetable. And then the last thing is, which I want to say, is that to the people outside there, this time there is no free and fair elections, okay? So the best way that which we can see a free and fair election to ourselves, it is to go out in numbers call more people, let them go and vote. Never be intimidated, because intimidation will never stop from the ruling. If they cannot intimidate you by themselves, they will use the powers that they are there with them. The police. Imagine this time around, we even have the army commander. He's using the position as the JDOC chairperson to talk about internal security. So all those things, they will come in as intimidation. But let us not relent. Okay, let us not relent. Let us go out there in numbers without any form of timidity in our blood, because we are all Zambians. We share equal rights to that country called Zambia, our country.
Thank you.
Bamwamba.
Thank you. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make a contribution.
Good evening,
Yes, Mtale.
We have already started. You know, at one time we used to tell ourselves, we just have to liberate the country. Ambassador, first and foremost, I want to condemn the reaction, the dance of the president in the stadium. It's very, very, you know, I think we need to take the office very serious. It's about the president. It's about the excellence. Whatever you do, I know we have presidents, in the past, they'll say that presidents don't dance. But we have seen in the modern politics, we have seen presidents dancing. But you have to dance in a manner that people should not criticize you, because you are not dancing as an individual, you're dancing as a state. You are the state. So no matter how excited you are, consider that you are the state. So I just want to condemn that dance that has it brings down a 16, a 15-year-old kid who watches that. Trust me, if he can dance like that, what would he do? So that's what I just want to put them. The secondly, I just want to join the people that are most especially on all these rallies from yesterday and today. She has been talking about, that's to say, how many voter registration do we have here? The number was about 80,000 or 85,600. Today she repeated the same. She was around the where she said it was 75,000 plus. So I urge the leadership of the opposition, most especially the senior Mundiri, our Makebi, so that they take note of this. Somebody has to, like you have rightly said, there is a way of doing these things. You give one person, maybe the minimum goes different, because this can be a secret, and these guys, they can take it up. But we are emphasizing that the leadership should take note of that. Most especially where voter safeguarding is concerned. Because we have seen it in Southern Province, where time when they're voting like this, the UPND has never won an election in Southern Province. All what they have done, all what they have been doing all these years is that when people are voting, UPND, like you are now seeing, you will see that they will unleash they call them who's, that's what they have been calling them. Those youths, they go and fight people, they go in numbers. And the simple citizen, Rana Mayo, an old lady, old woman, her father, she will run away from that place, from the polling station. And they are using this thing to make sure that now that's the only time they bring in those already pre-marked ballot paper. We have information in our conclusion, Ambassador. We have information that currently what the president is doing, this is subject to verification. What the president is doing, they have already pre-marked ballot papers. And they will be doing whatever he makes a move to Shwangandu. They will leave a box there. Because if they were to send that box with another vehicle or whatever, trust me, they are saying that this thing will be exposed. But now he has already the ballot papers. So when he goes to Shwangandu, he needs the ballot papers. So please, people, take note. Let's open our eyes and make sure that whatever they are trying to do, we should be eye-open. We should fight in Liverpool, in Chinga, in Northern. There has been always voter uppers. This is one thing that we have to fight and counter that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador. Yes, I appreciate your analysis for today. We need to promote people to vote at polling station. That's a very good strategy. I did a proposal some time back, I think 2021, going backwards, where I proposed this G20 kind of system where people within the confinement, within a certain period, a certain area can be interacting with the people. Yeah, but the challenge we have right now is that we are a new party, but this thing can work if we as individuals, we can take it upon ourselves to speak to at least 7 people. If 1 million people speaks to 7 people, that is already 7 million votes. There is guaranteed people are going to vote. And when you look at the frustrations and the suffering and the torment that is going into their country, this is an easiest thing that we can evangelize to the people, to point at the challenges people have in their homes, wherever. This problem doesn't have the limit. It affects everyone, including those who are working in government, whether civil servant, even the police themselves, even though they are trying to mistreat people, they are all affected. So this election is a very easy election to win by the opposition, because the problems are very common in this country. Everyone is feeling the pinch of this government. Looking at the people that this party, the UPND, have organized, all those people, they are being paid money. When the people countrywide, they are starving, they've got a lot of money to throw at people like, I've heard Ben Lombe. What character is that the UPND can use such people? Look at the people they are trying to use. They are people with no moral characters, including those so-called opposition alliance. Whenever Mumba, he's a pastor, but he has lost it. Look at that man, the way he's talking. He doesn't have love of a man of God. So those people, they are the people that are making this president to lose popularity because of what is coming out of their mouths. It is paining people, because people, they know what they are going through. So let them get confused like that. But I think this election, Ambassador, is a straightforward election that we can win, despite all these fears of vote rigging and whatever. But what is important is to go in numbers. Because if we can vote for PM 7 million votes, where are they going to put the pre-marked ballot papers? Because already people would have witnessed the maybe 70% people voting for Munduville. So I think this is the way we should do it. We should not leave any stone unturned. Let's go out, speak to people. We speak like you said. We behave like Jehovah's Witness to evangelize to everyone to go and vote for PM in this election. That's my contribution, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening, Honorable Emmanuel Donoska. I'm calling from Italy.
Yes, Father. Thank you very much. Make your contribution, Father.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to appreciate your reminding the opposition leaders to focus on the voter protection and all those the preamble that you made at the beginning. It just reminds me when Honorable Makebi Zulu took leadership of the PF Pamosi Alliance. It reminds me of that powerful the strategic method of speaking to the people who are voters, who are potential voters. So, thank you very much that you're bringing this on media. And I hope the two candidates, Brian Munduville and Makebi Zulu, they can take really take advantage of what you have said. That said, Honorable Emmanuel Mamba, I would like to. I was looking at the rally that the President Hakainde Hichilema did in Lusaka, and the physiognomy or the the sign of the rally that Mundubile and Makebi Zulu are putting on. What captured me, very interesting, Ramwamba, if you remember many times ago in 2021, one of the questions that I would answer to some of my friends were, government comes in, government goes out, cadreism remain. Question, how do you solve the situation of cadreism? In PF, we saw some people at the bus stations. In the UPND, some of the cadres are now at ECZ, and some of them were in parliament. So government comes in, government goes out. The question of cadres remains. So I have noticed something in the crowd that Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu are pulling. Laimano Mwamba, that is the answer to my preoccupation and my worries. I suggested, can they make a ban on putting on party regalia immediately after the general elections? That was my suggestion, to avoid the question of cadres. Once the elections are conducted, the new government is sworn in, could they just ban the wearing of political party colors or regalia? Because by so doing, my intention was to trigger into a president to govern the whole 22 million Zambians, not looking at the color, what beret somebody is wearing, and somebody who is not wearing a beret, you look at on the other side. So now look at the crowd of Brian Mundubile. My goodness, that's our dream. That's one Zambia. That's one Zambia, one nation. No political regalia. Thank you to our President Haka in the Chilema. Oh no, I don't know whether confiscated the regalias of Tonse, Pamosi. I don't know whoever is holding on those regalias, but that is fantastic. This is one Zambia, one nation. When these candidates, they go there, I observed something interesting. Some civil servants, like teachers, some of my friends, like Bakapokola, they were in the group. This is awesome. You see? Nobody is going to look around to say, you are here. I saw you wearing into a political regalia. That's wonderful. Compliments to Brian Makebi. Continue with this. We need indeed unity. The other thing, the last one, I would like to mention, actually there are two things. One, I would like to pose a question to Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. Are they going to promise the Zambian people that they will accept the presidential house that the Zambian people are going to give them this time? So that's a question. Is Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu once sworn in, are they going now to accept the Zambian people's gift, the house that the Zambian people are going to give to them, as compared to President Haka in Hichilema, who was chosen? Another thing, he has chosen to go and stay at his home. But Mundubile, Makebi, are they going to accept to stay at State House? The last one, I know under the leadership of President Haka in Hichilema, we started 2021 up to today. We have been requesting Ramwamba to declare the assets, to make the declaration of assets public to the Zambian people. We asked this in 2021. We have been asking for the past 5 years. I am asking it even today. Now, if President Haka in Hichilema has not found it easy to declare and disclose to the Zambian people, are we going to have something different from our leaders, our new contenders, like Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu, for the sake of accountability and transparency? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please call that we close quickly. We want you to make your contribution. Don't begin to make your contribution when I'm closing. Then you keep me for another hour. So give me your call. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution.
Ambassador Mwabombeni.
Ndita Mwabombeni ama.
No, we are very grateful that you are back. We have been missing you on this platform, and Natumi Fuluka for this noble job we have got to educate and to communicate to the Zambian people. Thank you for that. You have given us this opportunity again. You are back. Bamwamba ine nalalomba kwenshita ndefu kulanda kupali ba Nevas Mumba. Nevas Mumba, he has been a champion. Think he has got all the wisdom the Zambian people wants. And abantu baso kuli abana kufyalwa abatebeshi be Nevas Mumba. I'll give a bit of background about Nevas Mumba. Nevas Mumba, he does not bring peace to this country. And it's unfortunate. Abana kufyola wafuwa ishu wa Nevas Mumba. But Nevas Mumba rised from Ronald Bonki in 1980 in Kubuchi, Kulagukitwe, ilo vale start translate. When we are just the beginning of crusades, the yellow tent, ninji bushawa mwamba mule yubukisha kukitu pabuchi palia. Nevas Mumba wakwate shuko, baba tumako na kuwa America, and he meets the wife, the very good wife from the family from Ganaton Kit, where the father was doing very fine. But Nevas Mumba amna kwa tasana wisdom. But Nevas Mumba, he has been speaking a lot of rubbish on Brian Munduvila and Makebi Zulu. Ngamulele Bukshawa Mwamba imwe have been there. Nevas Mumba didn't even endorse President Chiluba's leadership or MMD. He was very against. Even when President Chiluba declared Zambia as a Christian nation, but Nevas Mumba bali bafye abayivela ababantu tabafuilo kulaba posa kwa mano. Short because you have said Mlefu Gambutusha and you are traveling. In 2014-2015 by-election, it was Satawa File. But Nevas Mumba led a delegation which went to South Africa to go and meet the chairman, so-called, for promoting the West. And the person who was chairing that meeting was former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo. And Nevas Mumba was asked to support President Hakainde Hichilema, which they didn't agree. When Nevas Mumba came here in Zambia, Nevas Mumba blocked RB to stand on MMD, that presidential election. Now which was story. After Nevas Mumba vaya iminina, and he didn't get any votes. Valungu Winama election. The first person who went to congratulate Valungu, it was Nevas Mumba, and presented the budget. President, if it was Iminina, could tuleshewa RB, Iminina, so that Imuine. But Nevas Mumba, I know I was the presence on that meeting with President Lungu. Nevas Mumba Muntu Usha Kwatama principle ngamlebu kushamu 201. After the election year, the late President Mazoka, Christian Tembo, and others, he was entrusted to be a spokesperson and to see things go smoothly. Instead of presenting the opposition political party, Nevas Mumba went to negotiate. Later on, he has to become the vice president. Abana kufyala beshi bokwe bati uyo muntu ngaisula kanwa talande fishinka. Apapakati apa recently he has been talking about the death of President Lungu. Lungu eva lelisha wa Nevas Mumba. By 2016, Nevas Mumba didn't have a house. He was renting a house called Mondin. Kulia so abantu nga bale mulaba ne basumumba balelanda paka na bale basumumba, he has never been productive, he has never done business, he has never done anything. Nga mu pastor wabo waliwo washupa. Jesus told his disciples and said, only peacemakers shall be called children of God. But never Sumumba chosen to be an evangelist and a preacher for the gospel. But never Sumumba has never preached peace in this country. He always wants to see something which is going to put food on his table. So whatever the Never Sumumba is talking about, but Never Sumumba was talking about the crowds, President Mundubile and Makebi Zulu pulling. No, Mumama crowd there. Because when the results comes, they have BP and that attack. Today, the ambassador, whenever Sumba celebrated the crowd which was brought in Lusaka from the all 10 provinces, fear na fear wama. But abantu alia niba mumimunda kebakuposa kwa mano. Lastly, ambassador, Imwende Milombako, guarding the vote from this country and dealing with the incumbents, we need a lot of goodwill. Imo ambassador, you need to help the Brian Mundubile na Makebi to speak to the international community. Because monitoring those elections, we need about not less than 30,000 polling agents and polling assistants. We need a huge sum of the money. No Kubasambili shall put them in the class out to monitor election. And monitoring election in this 2026 election, they are very simple. As other callers, normally Mona Uliame commander, they have set up the platform of rigging election to intimidate the Zambian people. We need the Catholic. The Catholic Church should play a major key role in all 10 provinces to monitor this election. That Walekela Fieva, Mundubile Makebi, and other people say they are going to monitor this election. Tabaka Kwanishe. The international community that have been promoting democracy, transparency, and rule of law, they should come in to make sure that election in Zambia, otherwise, but they are going to use a formula of rigging election using certain areas where people are going to be disadvantaged. But when we have the international community on our side, and they hope to finance the polling agents and assistants, these things is going to help. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba.
Thank you very much. We already have another caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador Mwamba, I'm so happy today. I'm through to your program. But today I'm very happy. I'm through to your program.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So right now my whole household is listening in, and I'm so happy that Lenona Masuka.
Make a contribution.
I'll stay anonymous. Like a business in Shakwata. I'm calling you from within Lusaka. So contribution yandine yakwebati inenda kwela yango nearly every day. We are not going to my workplace, going back home. We are town. Kota. Kapati yango driver. I usually engage with them in conversation about ifilechtika politically, and most of them are but majority of them but my worry is voter protection, like everybody else is concerned. Inena mwana kwa chilimbi wakatolika nga kuti batu wafu ako bantu katolika ni konse yaba na muma ruro mwino momo baba bushoba katolika kwena tetu batu wafu eko kulonda kwa mavoti bantu bubuteko botule bombana bo imingala toshiratinya mingala toshabo sana. And then also Makebi Zulu na ba Brian Mundubile monso mo bale abela la bokulanda ba date swap. debt swap chintu chakwe bati ubuteko obwafuminepo obwaba ECO bali ambire bali implement inena from family ya civil servants and nalimo na civil servants of bachura pamulandu wa ndalama obunono sho bafula shino no ndalama bafula so icho chilengo kwa bati abengi bengire mu Nkongole baba mu Nkongole chakwe bati ba ambassador kuti maumfolu sofo bayikala abantu barabomba civil servants batimi ikalire awe shuwa ulanda bushara bweka so that's what PF bali ambire. My mother is a beneficiary, she's a primary school teacher. 2 installments ya Nkongole bakwete kuma bank obuteko bwati bali pirire so icho balera ndecha debt swap chachi ne kuti chachitika obuteko bwati ambiro bwaba ECO kulipira debt swap so mwanzo mobale yabera alabo kulanda bali debt swap because majority futi ama voters massive servant ebade umfasana sana okuchula kwa abantu awo natotera imano mwamba ngombe bwino papai.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello?
Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Yeah, I remain anonymous, Ambassador.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Yeah, the surprising part, like what I want to talk about today was the rally which these guys have. Because I just stay near Hero Stadium. Then the time that I was leaving home, I just found the little people organizing themselves. And then I went to Curfew. Just at Mawara Toge, the buses coming all the way from Curfew, Mazabuka, Chima, going to Hero. So I was telling people, these guys, they say they are popular. Why selling all these cadres around the country just to go and make a name like the way they saw about BM? Then after that, around 19 hours, the time I was going back home, I met those same people who went for that same rally, walking on foot, no transport, women carrying these drums on their heads. See these guys. So they came all the way. Even right now as I'm speaking to you, some of them are still there stranded waiting for transport to go back. And these guys, right now, I was just from taking a jogging. I can see there are a lot of people now stuck there waiting for buses, and it's cold. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. If you have anything to say, quickly call now because we intend to close early today. I have a trip to make, so I will not intend to last longer here. Make your call. We hear from you. Yeah. Thank you very much. We rarely read these messages because I have to find mechanisms where your messages should be scrolling. Someone says, read my message that I have sent. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Mutale, speak in the phone. You are far away from the phone.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
No.
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. I lost my thought earlier on, but it's just a suggestion. So looking at every one of you are doing a great job to see that our nation is saved from this evil government. Well, Ambassador, I've noticed that people are divided who to listen to, because right now as we speak, you find that this I got it from a friend of mine, and I've noticed it's a real thing. I know you yourself, you have your own timetable and you have your own program and you have a way of communicating to people. JJ Banda has got his own program and he has a way of communicating to people, and such as maybe Niti. What's her name? The woman in Itambo in UK. So all these things, I was thinking that maybe you can come up with a time in terms of how you communicate. Because so that one person wants to hear you, another person wants to hear Honorable Banda and the like. So it's just a suggestion to see how best you guys communicate to us, because what we want, all the message that is being preached in this platform are very, very, very cardinal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Indeed, good suggestion. But the goodness with social media is you can watch now, you can come and watch later. You can choose who you want to watch today, and later you catch up with the other. That's been the goodness of social media. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ambassador Soli, sorry, I just want to have an observation which this is very important. From the Tonse and Pamos, now Mr. Rezi, it is very important on this platform. So there is no need for that crowd and the many people following the president and the vice president who rather reduce the delegation so that other people, they can break into provinces trying to help to set up those committees which you have mentioned. And you as a person who is a spokesperson for the Tonse, for the PF Pamos Alliance, you need to bring that concept to them, which is very important. Because Ngatwa Ileka, to come and establish these things at the 11th hour, Tafia Tuafwe. Pali, in Ishta, as you have noticed, about 13,153 polling stations, plus even other polling stations are going to establish. It's a mammoth task which has to be established. So those people, they conquer the president and the vice president. You as a spokesperson should tell them there is no need. People should divide themselves into committees. Establish. Each one should be given a task in each region, or 10 region, 10 provinces, so that the manning of the voters. And I want to repeat, the issue of Brotima Mwamba, it's very key cardinal. UPND are relying to disadvantage the way they did in 2021 when Kungo was murdered and they threatening everybody else, and they are the leeway to do whatever they are doing it. And that is the method they're going to use. That is Army Commander what is doing. It's a platform of leading election and trying to instill fear into people. You see what they're going to do. They will release a lot of security personnel during the voting hours. But when you have the committee and have prepared the mind of the Zambian people, says once you see these people comes, we will post mano, go and vote and stay. And also talking about polling assistants and polling agents, you need to make sure about what type of collector the people. No. This time it's do and die. You as the spokesperson, there are certain things you need to cover. Brian Mundubila Makebi, and also before I go, when you have got polling assistants and polling agents, they offer them good money. So also our budget on the polling assistants and polling agents should be very attractive. Tetumia bule muntu mpela 50 kwacha, 30 kwacha, elo basa mpela 250 or 300 kwacha. Enough mamu muna polling station to start stopping monitoring election. All these things should make sure we looked about people who understand what they're trying to achieve for them to monitor those elections. No masenda send villagers and other things. In other areas, I don't want even to hide. Places like Northwestern, Western, Southern, we need even to import people from other places, people who are ready to sacrifice their lives so that to make sure they are not intimidated, and they will sit and to make sure elections have been counted according to people that have voted. Election is Mwamba. Ama abantu bayamkuvota. Very strong and vigilant during the polling date. But then they have a leeway to do whatever they are doing. I want to appeal to you. You have got a very big law to pray into this, to educate our brothers and sisters in Itonse and the Pamos. You have been, many of them, they're just coming as new people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll be taking the last calls. I want to close on top of the hour. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
This is Precious Inonga from Livingstone.
Yes, Precious, make your contribution.
Oh, you are still live. I wanted to speak privately. I didn't want to talk on live.
Okay, I'll call you when I'm off the line.
Okay, all right.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Bamwamba Mabumbeni. They were nameless.
Nameless, make your contribution.
Thank you so much, Bamwamba. Well, Bamwamba, I'm equally very disappointed in the bad remarks of some of the prominent people who we think can be pillars of this nation and educate us in how not to love one another. And yet, they are carrying a very dangerous message to our children to be born. Bamwamba, you know, we expect most of these people who call themselves biggies, you know, passionate. What I've realized, they have completely failed to recognize the suffering and the pain of a poor Zambian, you know, who is looking forward to a better life.
Banevas Mumba.
Pastor,
Banevas Mumba.
Banevas Mumba, tabakwa tuluse, and I hope bale umfwa. Bamwamba bantu abakuluteti bayi palwelele okulala nde ifintu ifya fidia. Era nabambi abangistresa na disappoint nali bachindika sana ababa tata besu ba Freddy, ba Honorable Freddy Membe, something like. Na bena badilanda ko something that I didn't like. Tabalandire buino, but position. Hello, crowd yale hello Bamwamba. It did not scare me. Fear not. Unless Bakachiferiga elections, we know what's the plan. You know, all that crowd, you know, was just drawn to show to people. You know, it's like having a compete figure. A crowd. And we know but most of them were, you know, all over Zambia. So fear not, Bamwamba. It's the perfect Karambapa. It's we have to protect our votes. We have to protect our votes. You know, I feel it for them. But regret. We have seen that things are not good at all. Bamwamba, we've got relatives. But I'm telling you, we suffer for them. Okay, no problem. Some of us, we suffer. We suffer with our relatives, and we suffer also with those poor Zambians who can't even have a half meal a day. So, please, without us, let me give the chance to the other people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Basimpamba, make your contribution.
Bamwamba ababantwa idawa chipangala liyaleero yabufibufi Ulusaka kuno abantu tebalaba kibago bakirafuma kumamya huko so iralali date yaba Lusaka wonsawe twakiraba mwana natukwata abantu twakikwata baku kafiwo kujya bakira turondorwera fyonse so badaba kibamu abantu be babepayo so efona chitavo kuchita kwanterpret vamwamba.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Gwamba. This is David Moyowambuya.
David, please make your contribution from Mongo.
Yes, Papa. You are right. I mean, as I told you the last time, I was a vice chairman of Patriotic Rescue Monitors, monitoring an election of this magnitude. That time in 1996, we were talking about 4,600 police stations. Now we are talking about almost 14,000 police stations. That means we're talking 30,000 people. That's not an easy group to manage. But God is with us. The people are with us. The youths who are attending those rallies, they're dedicated. For you can see the type of people we have in the rallies so far. So we're not worried about that. We'll train them. But there's something which has made me react in call. The man who called, he came first, he talked, then he said, Nachilaba got something, he came back. He must not put a fire which he can switch off. He should, what make him tell him to say, the people of Western Province, we should take people from other provinces to go monitor Western Province. What does he mean by that? Who is he, how is he gauging Western Province? What type of system is he using to know who's going to vote? Because every vote, every 5 years, if we knew the results of 5 years to say that province will vote, that province will vote, why have such an expense? Why is it franchising the rights of the Westerners? Who is he to say, well, Western? I'm dealing with a very serious problem right now, Bamamba. I didn't even want to talk to you about it. Wakafuaya Mtotwe was on 5 FM 3 days ago. I even sent you this transcript. In that transcript, he talked about airports. Unfortunately, he picked Western Province. To say Western Province like Mongo, why do they need an international airport? Unfortunately, when you're on an interview, you don't go into what you mean exactly. Yes, the infrastructure in Western Province, you need a lot of more things. I mean, our priority right now, the electricity in Western Province, it's only there to light a bulb. If you are using your stove, even a 2-plate cooker from 18 hours, you can't use it until 21 hours. So we're used to cook at 22 hours now because of low voltage. It's been that, there's no lights in Western Province. The lights here, it's only to light a bulb. So if someone comes to promise you an airport, instead of looking at electricity which is supposed to power your industry, because even if you want to open an industry, my job is bringing in investors. The biggest challenge in Western Province, why they don't come back, even after the Western Province Expo, is because there's no electricity. Even when we're hosting the Western Province Expo itself, by the industrial yard, there was no electricity. You understand what I'm trying to say? At 19 hours, we had to find provisions to keep the president in there. It was in a dark place. There was just no electricity. So people who understand what he meant are not complaining, but you must see how the UPND and everyone is twisting this around. We are now doing damage control. Now, if that man is calling your platform and he talks about Western Province in such a way, what is it? And he says HH is a tribalist. What is he calling himself? So please, you should have advised him to say, no, that's not correct. So I couldn't let such a thing go because we are doing the damage control. He must realize one thing. Maybe it's not from Northern Province, it's not a Bemba. The Bemba chief, paramount chief, came to invite the Litunga of Western Province to attend the ceremony there. The following year, he came. The Bembas and the Lozis are cousins, not by war, but by blood. He should read the history of where the Lozis, the Luyas and the Bembas, where they came from, and how they split. So he should know what he's talking about. He must consult Fred Membe. He's the one who likes the history of how we moved. So you must give him Fred Membe's number so that he knows that the Bembas and the Lozis are one people. So it's not right for him to say such things. I'm very upset.
Thank you, my dear brother, and thank you for the correction. Thank you. I think your dear brother was also heard the counsel you've given him. Okay, we want to Akwalesa. God bless you. We will speak to you, I think, on Wednesday. I will not broadcast tomorrow on Monday, but I think I'll broadcast on Wednesday, God willing and God providing.
Bayut ni mundu bile na makebi bengile bamayona bataka mule faya nani ni mundu bile na makebi bengile bafama nani mule faya ni mundu bile na makebi bengile kopana nani mule faya ni mundu bile na makebi bengile apana panapa kasukulu nani mule faya ni mundu bile na makebi bengile balya bombi bela batushupa pafula batangisha mafunda ya lufyengo no lupato batupatanya kubofi mitundu nendalama mumayanda mulinsala business balikaka domba twala tikashani